my emotions, but I find it to be much easier to deflect in certain ways.
Can I stop you? Because I
Go
didn't
ahead.
understand. I didn't understand really the 100% what concept you were trying to get through with failed motivation. Are you talking about failed motivation speeches that you've given somebody, or
Oh, many, many, many. I mean, and over the years, there was a period of time where it'd be people that were trying to kill themselves, and I'd be, I'm going to do it, and I'd say, listen, I'm very busy right now. Okay, I'd heard so many of these over the years that I'd start fucking around a little bit. Like, I'd take it seriously. I'd be like, I'm very busy right now. I can't be there to pick your body up and throw it in a trash can. Tomorrow would be much better for me if you're going to kill yourself, because then I can take you out to eat and, do stuff. And then I can pick you up and lay you gently in a trash can after you're dead. If you're okay with tomorrow, that would be better for me. And again, the person on the other end at this point, they're confused because this is not what they probably talked to 3 people before me that said, please don't do it. Please don't do it, So I got really good at, I'll call it decompressing these very strange situations. So I went to school to be a psychologist. I was going to be a relationship therapist and a child psychologist. And I would have been completely kicked out of the practice because you're supposed to do certain things. There are certain things you're supposed to do. And I've never really been a rule follower. So over the years, I've tried different things. And over the years, I've gotten really good at what I do to a degree where I push the limits to see if I can do, more things to be better. So I'll give you an example. This is a horrific example, but it's pretty recent. It's one of my guy, one of my best friends. His mother recently passed away, and I, donated to the cause and sent flowers and all that. Did the stuff you're supposed to do. It's been about a year, but this is his first Mother's Day without his mother, and he's fallen off the rails since his mother passed away. His mother was everything to him. He was a mama's boy, and I respect that. Like, so, I was trying to help him, come out of this, funk that he's in, where he's just disappeared from himself completely since his mom passed away. So first, in my way to try to help him out from this was I said, look, you just want to fuck your dead mother, was the first thing that I said to him. It was a Freudian thing. Your mother's passed, you have a thing. So I said, you want to fuck your dead mother. That was the first part that was my first attempt at helping. And because I threw that out there, and it was, it wasn't well received, because I could tell that he wasn't prepared for that. I thought, well, let me double and triple down.
Let me push the gas a little bit. Let's see how fast this motherfucker can go.
I could either pump the brakes or I could just go, whoo, and I decided to go.
Let's see what we got under the hood.
Well, mind you, I've known this dude for 35 years, and there's people that know us, like that know us and don't know us, that see us in public and think that we're mortal enemies by how much shit we talk to each other. Like, our relationship is predicated on telling each other how horrible each other is, and that's love to us. It's like a whole thing. So then he told me that he's in the middle of building a chicken coop at his house because he's preparing for the apocalypse. So I told him he should dig up his dead mom and feed her to his chickens. And that was the next step of me trying to help him.
You're still friends with him?
Oh, we'll be friends forever. He's probably mad at me right now.
But you can't tell me who he is.
I can, but I'll do it offline. I don't, I'll do it I'll text you, because I don't want this to be, to that degree. So in my attempt to, in my attempt to sort of help him get over the fact that truly he is Freudian with his mother. Like, he was Freudian with his sister, his mother. His biggest weakness in high school was all the people wanted to fuck his sister with big titties. And anybody who would make a big titty joke about his sister, that was it. And in the meantime, I was the one friend who never tried to fuck his sister. And for the record, his sister had a vicious mouth, and she could take care of herself. Like she was like a Long Island chick, that with a, she was not a weak, soft little dumpling.
Yeah.
People just knew that he was worried about his sister's big tits, and took advantage of that. So long story short, here's what I kind of went through the. Let me read you this actual thing. I said only a professional Freudian psychologist can help him because he wants to fuck his dead mother. Okay. Come see me soon, or this is just the beginning. You fuck. I love you. So I was being.
These are texts.
Oh yeah. Via text. He goes, what if he goes, you made fun of my dead mother. Are you fucking sick? It's Mother's Day weekend. I'll send you balloons when your mother dies. Until then, eat dick. I said, I'm totally fine with that because I'm not a pussy. I challenge you to be as ruthless when my mom dies. Everyone's so weird about death. Like you didn't know that was going to happen, you fucking dork. Oh, mom was going to live forever physically. Really? You should do her a favor and feed her corpse to the chickens on Mother's Day. That way she can be of use beyond the grave. Happy Mother's Day. And yes, feel free to reciprocate. Maybe this will bring you back to being the savage you were. So he, didn't respond. So I was like, all right, let me see if I can bring him back into the fold. So I think I texted him privately. I did. I texted him privately because I was like, all right, maybe he really is upset. He's never been mad at me once. So I said, sorry about hypothetically feeding your dead mom's corpse to your chickens. I thought that was a good start. That was wrong. I love you. See you soon. Then I said, are you hurt and mad or realize my sick jokes were meant for a purpose? I love you, brother. I'm not trying to hurt you or disparage your beautiful mother. After all, she's in a better place away from your dumbass. Which I thought was a very sweet thing. I mean, she's away from her loving son. That was so there's a chance that my attempt to give a motivational speech, I might have pushed it a little bit far.
I feel like it's coming from a really good place.
It is. It really is. 100%. There's nothing bad in there. It's 100% from love. Like 100%. He's lost because he lost. And by the way, I lost my mother-in-law, who is the biggest believer in me ever. And every day I hurt from it. Like every day I hurt from it. Because, nobody believed in my dumbass. Like, why would they? She was my biggest believer when nobody else was. So losing her is, horrific. But also I understand on the grand scheme of things what she did for my life and where she is. And by the way, I believe that she's still with me, because I have faith. Some people don't understand or don't give thought to how this whole thing works. Death doesn't end at all. And if you believe it does, then, why are we even here? Why don't you just go out with a bang and do whatever the fuck you want to do? Why aren't you out there terrorizing the community? If none of it matters, who gives a fuck? Just run wild. But if you believe that there's something greater than that, then, act like it. Not only with your personal life, but when people pass, they're still with you. I 100% believe that. And by the way, I've seen evidence of that too, scientific and in real life. So, I am absolutely coming from a good place, but I've just got a weird way of showing it. I mean, keep in mind, I'm a guy who has that $5 bet for when my father dies versus Pete West's father dies. We have to pay the bet at the coffin. To say you owe me $5, these things bring levity to a weird situation.
So are you rooting for your mother to die before P. West's mother?
No, this is our father's. And no, I'm rooting for neither, actually. Whichever happens.
Yeah, your father. Sorry.
Yeah, whichever happens. I mean, if my father outlives him, then I win. And I'm owed $5 and I will be there.
That's a pretty sweet win.
Yeah, that's a great win. I'll talk about how I've genetic superiority and everything else. And if his father wins, then he has bragging rights. I'm fine with that. That's the way it works.
I had a disaster motivational experience. It wasn't necessarily a speech.
Go ahead.
So you're a Redskin fan. So
Kind of.
I got to know Lavar Arrington pretty well, and he's like, I really like to come in your locker room. So usually I don't have a lot of people in my locker room. I don't have an entourage and all this shit. I was like, okay, and I would have people come say hello and leave, right? Real quick. I had like 4 people. I had a priest and like 3 other people, special people to me. So here comes my security guard for the night. There's a guy here, Lavar Arrington's at the door. Do you want to let him in? I said, yeah, let him in. And when earlier, a few days before, when I said, yeah, you can come in the dressing room, that's what I meant, kind of that stop by and visit. What he meant was come in and sit in the dressing room and motivate me, get me pumped up. All right?
Yeah. In the meantime, you're probably a pretty silent person during this. I can imagine you just sit silently.
This motherfucker comes in, again, one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Yeah.
I mean, really a decent human being. But he comes in, hugging and chest bumping, and he just pops right down on the
treating it like
couch.
a football game. Like a football game. Get you hyped up.
He pops down on the couch next to Jimmy Glenn. Jimmy Glenn's like, who is this motherfucker? And the whole time I'm hitting the pads, he's hooting and hollering like a football player, And that is so anti everything I am.
I know.
I don't hype. I stay calm and cool. The more I hype, the worse
the performance. Yeah, I know that about you.
It was it was weird because I should have said, okay, nice to see you. We're going to get ready now. And I made an attempt to do that. And he took, we're going to get ready as, all right, now it's time for me to hype this motherfucker up. And he's fucking like...
It's like having Ray Lewis in the locker room at that point. It's like having Ray Lewis in there. Like he's like, oh, let's go. Well, fucking.
He's like, pop me on the arm, and I.
It's like this.
Yeah, and he's just like all up on me while I'm punching and shit, and everybody's looking at me like, what the fuck is going on? And he's just like yelling and. In my eyes, and
you weren't able to go into a different zone and be like, you know what, fuck it, let me try it. You were just like,
no,
yeah.
I can't do it.
At this point, between amateur and pro, you had how many fights? Like 60?
60. Oh,
70?
This was late. This was a big fight.
80 to 100. Because you had an amateur career, you had like 50
I had about 50
fights.
Amateur fights, and I'd say 80 fights.
80 fights. So at this point, you've got your routine.
Yeah.
You don't need a new routine. You're like.
And it was like he didn't understand that. And
yeah.
So finally I said to myself, okay, I got to get him out of here. And I said, okay, the priest is coming in. We're going to say a prayer. I'm with you. And so he fucking joined the prayer. I didn't want him in on the prayer. So he joins the prayer. And finally I go, hey, look, we got to walk out. I'll see you at the seat, man. I'll see you right after the fight. He was like, all right, yeah, I'm going to get out there, wait for you. And it was like fucking so bad.
It sucked your energy, didn't it?
It just was something I didn't need,
Did you get fucked up that night?
I got fucked up. The worst
So,
beating I've ever taken in my life.
do you think that that had something to do with it?
Nah,
No.
I can't say that.
Well, like,
I
but
ain't that big
seriously,
of a.
boxing is such a mental game. It fucked with you mentally.
It fucked with me bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But that, by the way, how valuable is that information for your kids' careers?
Right.
You could
I'm already sure.
send celebrity hype men into your opponent's locker rooms.
Unbelievable. And the guy, and the thing that makes it so like, the guy is such a nice guy, such a sweetheart. He just wanted to help. It came from a good place.
Yeah.
And I just got my asshole ripped out.
When motivational speeches go wrong, are you still in touch with him, or you never talked to him again because you were like, fuck Lavar Arrington?
No, those guys don't seem like. I went to a
They
few
aren't
bars.
they aren't keep in touch, guys. Actually, I bet you'd be thrilled to hear from you.
He probably would. He's just a nice guy, but he's, I went to a few barbecues at his house and shit, and just
He's probably like, look, I don't want to hang out with this loser that just fucking ruined.
I wouldn't. I got fucking. I mean, most people when they fall down, they're in control. I was getting knocked down, like sprawling out, and like.
Who were you fighting, Gilbert?
Like, no, I was fighting a guy named Chase Shields. He was out of Texas, and he was a substitute.
Oh shit!
He was like an ex-football. He was like an ex-football player from Texas Christian or something. And the guy just, I'll tell you what happened. He kept throwing an uppercut that I fucking couldn't make miss.
You were like White.
Every time he threw that uppercut,
yeah,
he nailed me. And here's what happened in the fight. Short synopsis. He comes out, knocks the shit out of me, gets ahead on the scorecards, after three. What?
Patriot Center?
Patriot Center.
Yeah.
Left-hander, right-hander, switch back and forth beautifully. Really a much better boxer than I expected. And so I start grinding and just fucking grind his ass, and I'm going to win ugly. And so I start to move up. It's, the fight's even now. I'm winning. I'm going to get the nod if it goes like this. And the 10th round, the lights in the whole venue goes black.
Oh shit, that's racist.
So what I do is I tried to run over there and fucking knock the shit out of him. But the referee grabbed me.
Keep your hands up at all times. Do the old Floyd Mayweather.
Right, but the referee grabbed me, whatever, go sit down. We waited something like 10 minutes to get the lights on. And came out for the 11th round.
You should have brought Lavar Arrington over to give you a motivational speech in between 10 minutes. Be like, now's your time.
We came back for the 11th round. I got a pretty, it's not big, but I'm going to win. I got the momentum. That motherfucker knocked me down 3 times in the 11th round.
Jesus.
And
uppercuts?
Fucking uppercuts, yeah.
Why are you still dipping?
That's this is the other shit. This is not.
What do you mean the other shit? The pouch?
Yeah,
it's the same shit, dude.
It's not fucking, it's nicotine. It's not tobacco. Shut up.
Oh, yeah, it's nicotine. It's not tobacco. All right, so you get knocked down. I definitely wasn't at that fight. I've never seen you get knocked down.
You got to hear Patrick.
I actually only thought you got knocked down like a couple times in your career. I didn't realize that there were 3 in one round.
4 times.
4 times in your career, 3 times in one round by this guy.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, and so this is real late in your career. This is when you felt like you didn't feel.
This was the last time I was ever any good.